If you've got a Freightliner Cascadia, this is a 125, but if you've got one that's got a frayed belt, that can be dangerous, and the DOT does not like it, so it's a twofold no-no. I will show you how to replace that. Luckily, everything you need is maybe a breaker bar, but a T50, really. This one is pretty simple as far as that goes. On the right side, or towards the passenger side, there, if you get the full kit, you've got this, which is a T50 like everything else. Goes down there, you take that off, and take this piece off, and then you can replace it. And that one is fairly easy. Make sure to not bust that. That is the connector right there. You don't want that to break, because then that'll just pop out all the time. And it is not fun to have to replace this entire thing down in there, especially if you snap it down here. That's a nightmare. And then the other side with T50s, usually these will come all bundled with a rubber band right here, and it's all wrapped up in there. You want to leave that till the last moment, or at least I always do, so it doesn't get all coiled up in there if you accidentally bump that, which I've done a couple times. But this one I opened up and it was already out, so so be it, I guess. But there are two T50s here, one on the top and one near the bottom. So one here, one about there, and then you just slide it up and down and get them off. And then there is one on the floor and one right there. So that one is difficult to get to. And then there's one in here, right up in here. That one is also pretty difficult to get to. So I'll get all those loose, and then we will get them off and put the new ones on. Pretty straightforward process. There, the latch side is all loose, and the pin that I was talking about right there, you can actually pull it up with your fingernail and pull up. Let's see, focus there, and just pull. If it's stuck, you might want to get a pick or a little screwdriver inside there and get that up. But most of the time you can do it with your fingers if it's not all gunked up. And pay attention to the pattern here, how it's flat, and then like there's a half wind right there. What you want to do is mimic the exact same thing. You don't want to get it all twisted up when you put the new one on. And a lot of times the older ones, they would not have this right here to retain everything from popping out. But luckily, all the new ones, they do. But that was an old truck thing. Yeah, I haven't seen that in some time. So take that off and pop the new one on. All four of these are loose. I'll give you a couple tips. I start with this one usually back at most of the way out, and this always dangles down in front and is not fun to get access to. So what I'll do is I'll pull some of the belt up through here, I'll latch it, and I'll pull it through and just yank it, and that pulls it and keeps it from smacking into me. These ones aren't the most difficult to get out. They're probably the easiest of the bunch, but the ones down here are. So this one you might need a low profile for, which is, I use this. It's not necessary, but it really helps. And down here, this one gives me problems every single time, without doubt. So that one I used a breaker bar for to get it mostly out, but everything's loose, so I'm gonna get this stuff off and put the new one on. I actually forgot about this one, so there's a total of 5. I don't know how I forgot that. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then the 2 up top. And putting this back together, always put this on last, and I will show you why. I'll get the whole thing on except for this, and then I'll show you why. I've got 4 of them back together, the 2 there, well, the one on the floor on that part of the seat, and these 2 up here. Now the reason I always wait to do this for the last part is because of the slack. If you get all of the slack wound up in there, then it can be really difficult to get it back out. I've had to send one back one time, and it was my fault because I got so wound up, and I don't like opening these things up because of DOT, and you shouldn't open this stuff up, blah blah blah. So I sent it back, and that was honestly my fault. Now when you put these in, sorry, I'm working with one hand here, make sure to get that into a notch. There's a notch right there, and then the screw goes in the bottom, and after you get that in, that is the last step. Alrighty, got it back in, and you'll probably bust your knuckles on this a few times, so put a piece of foam or a jacket or something on there, because I racked my fingers. But yeah, that's basically how you replace an entire seatbelt system in a Cascadia. Another Cascadia 125, other ones may be around the same. M2s are a little different, but I hope this helps somebody, and maybe you can save some money by doing this and not taking it to a shop. Have a good one.